Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, or good morning. It depends, I guess, on when you're actually watching this. If you're live with me, good evening. It is 8 p.m. on the East Coast. I am Julie Matson, the Maine Stamper. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am actually almost on time tonight. So it's Monday, it's 8 o'clock. And if you're watching this on replay, it can be anytime and anywhere, really. So please say hi when you jump on. Whether you're watching live with me tonight or on replay. I like to know who's checking it out at a later time. As the evenings get a little bit longer in light, there's a lot more that's going on. We had a beautiful day today in Maine. It was actually, I think it was close to 70, and it was sunny, which was really pleasant because all weekend it rained all weekend. So just to have such a beautiful day today was a true blessing. So I am here for your weekly card class, as mentioned. I am here in my craft room. I am trying to clean it up, and so I think as you look around, it's a little bit nicer. However, that means I can't always find things, right? I don't know if you have the same problem that I do, but when I clean stuff up, sometimes I can remember where it used to be. I can't remember where it is now. So I'm doing that struggle bus this week, and I'm trying to get ready for next week, which is going to be an exciting week because we have the new catalog coming. Now, I think some of you maybe, hi Lori, thanks for saying hi. Make sure you can hear and see me. That's what I like to know the best. The catalogs have been trickling. I mailed them out. Hi, Tammy. Good to see you too. So I mailed out the catalogs, so everyone should be receiving them. If you haven't, give it another day or two. They don't go live until next Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's next Tuesday because next Tuesday is also my birthday, which is really exciting. I'm excited to spend some birthday money on Stampin' Up. So I'm trying to clean up my craft room in an effort to be able to buy more supplies, right? They have to fit in here somehow. So today's class is going to be a little bit different. Now, normally I'll come on and I will share 4 fabulous cards with you, and then I offer it as something that you can get in the mail from me with your order during the week. I want to say, first of all, thank you. You are remarkable. So if you're watching this and you ordered with me last week, especially during that free shipping period, you're remarkable. Thank you so much for ordering with me. It really made my day to see those orders coming in and to know that you are saving money on Stampin' Up. That's like the frosting on the cake, right? So it was a really great week last week. I'll have some card kits in the mail to you shortly. Tonight's class is different. So not 4 card kits and something completely, it's more project-like, but hi, Janice. Aw, thank you. Janice says my craft room looks perfect. Well, I'm not showing you the piles that you can't see, so sometimes the camera's deceiving, but it is pretty. So the things that I can see around me make me happy. I love the blue. So speaking of blue, we're going to talk a little about In Color Club and Cloud Cover because Cloud Cover is in my project tonight. I can't stop using Cloud Cover. It is a new color coming next week. And we're going to talk a little bit about the paper share before we jump into our project class. And so I'm just checking to see. I've got a few guys hanging out with me. So let me switch over to my workspace. We'll talk about a couple things, then we're going to jump into the project, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, so I think I'm transitioned over to my workspace. You'll see that in a second. Please continue to say hi as you jump on tonight. Hey, look at these pretty colors over here. Cloud Cover, my favorite. I have been using, these are new in colors. They're going to be around for 2 years. They debut next week on Tuesday, May 6th. So we have Strawberry Slush, a returning color. We have Timid Tiger, kind of a nice, I like this orange. This is my favorite orange besides like pumpkin pie really is the only other orange. Calypso Coral, I guess. I'm not an orange person, but I do like Timid Tiger. Darling Duckling is nice and yellowy. Cloud Cover, as mentioned, my absolute favorite. It's a great blue-gray. And then we have Secret Sea, which depending on what you put with it, looks black, navy, believe it or not, it has green tone to it. It's a really interesting color. These are all, these are not really the card kits, but I wanted to have these out here just so that I can remember to talk to you about the In Color Club. So I had something on email. It's on my blog. Check out my blog, The Maine Stamper, talking about the In Color Club. Sign-ups are good through Sunday, May 4th. And it's all about the colors. So with In Color Club, you have the option to just get card kits and the fun stuff, the surprises, or you can get the card kits, the fun stuff, and then you can get the ink, the refill, the marker, the blends, the ribbon, and all kinds of stuff as well. So these are the colors we'll be playing with over the next 5 months. We do 1 color a month starting in May. So we'll have I don't want to give away what colors we're doing in what months. I'll flip them over. We have May, June, July, August, and September, right? So you get the idea. We're doing a color a month, but it's always a surprise color. So these are the cards that we made. I'm just going to go through these really quickly. These are the cards that were last year's in color. We did Pretty in Pink. These are the cards. These were the cards that I made. I used a specific stamp set, which everyone could get if they wanted to at the catalog price. So you're seeing the card, my style, I guess, right? Lots of stuff on them. You could probably make 6 cards out of what you're getting. This one was Summer Splash. So we use that spa stamp set for Summer Splash. You're going to see here, I was heavy on just the color with a little bit of color mixed in. We also did Petunia Pop. Now, I'm missing a card. I probably gave it away. So if you have a Petunia Pop card for me, it might have been from the In Color Club. I'm not really sure. Then we also did Peach Pie, and Peach Pie was closer. I think this was August. So we got into the pumpkins last August with some Peach Pie, and then we rounded out our club in September with Call Me Clover, and we kind of went more, I mean, this one was almost like a Christmas card, right? So these are the cards that we did in our last year's In Color Club, in case you were like checking out In Color Club. So In Color Club, again, the signups are good through Sunday, May 4th. I just need to know if you're on board, because I'm going to be ordering a whole bunch of supplies on Monday, May 6th. And we're going to hit the ground running. So if you have questions on In Color Club, let me know. Paper share, and I don't have any like paper share samples ready to go, which is not necessarily the best thing. But here's some paper. This is probably everyone's favorite paper. So the paper shares are going to come to you. You're going to get a front and back. So for example, front and then the back, right? So front and back. So you'd get these 2 sheets. So they're the same on this side. But if you wanted to use this side and this side, you're getting 2 6x6 sheets of pretty much everything that is new, including the catalog online exclusives are also included in there. And I also include the core color families as an add-on option. So paper share. There's some really great papers, of course. This is everyone's favorite. This is my favorite. I shouldn't say everyone's favorite. This is my favorite. Paper share, you can sign up through May 5th for the paper share. Also information on my blog, so make sure you're checking it out. Hi, Linda. Hi, Jess. Hi, Patty. Good to see you guys on here. All right, tonight's class, something totally different, like a completely different. We are going to use the You Are Remarkable stamp set. And I want you to know that there's no dies with this one. I'm pretty sure this was an online exclusive. Online exclusive from March, I think. I may need to be corrected on that. I need to pull out my papers to look at them. But this one, really sweet, 2-step stamping. So you've got your outline, and then you've got your stamps that are going to fill in. There's the cutest little bee right here. There's some cute little background stamps. 3 sentiments to this one, and it says, friends are flowers in the garden of life. You are remarkable in every single way. That kind of goes with our title here, right? Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. So really heartfelt sentiments, a mix of font, which I always adore. If you're a font nerd like me, you might like that too. And then some of these you can actually use without 2-step stamping, and I'm going to show you that. So we're using this stamp set. It is photopolymer. This case is naked. In case you're looking, the stamps are all mounted. We're using every one of them on our project. Now, as mentioned, in case you're just checking in with me, hi everybody. We are going to be doing a project today. So normally I have 4 card kits. Today is a project. So the project's going to be a little bit different. Now, if you're like, oh man, I don't want to do a project. I just want to make cards. I love making cards. I also love making cards. You're getting all of these things in your project kit. So let's take a quick look to see. Now the reality is, instead of making the project as designed, you're going to have 6 card fronts right here. You're going to need a card base, and you're going to need a couple more envelopes, but you could actually make 6 card fronts with what is in this kit. So you're getting some die cut pieces. We're going to go over all the dies here, and some punch pieces. This cloud cover alert, there's cloud cover here. And I'm mixing it in with the Floral Delight DSP, so it's going to be lots of yellows and greens. So this is the cover of our project. This is page 1, so again, some cardstock, designer paper, another die cut, and then of course you can switch these around if you want to. I'm going to kind of keep these in order because it might help me out later. This is page 2 of our project. So you're going to see here cute little die cuts, and more flowers. You can see the green and the yellow there. This would be page 3 if you're following along at home. More die cuts, So again, you could turn that into a card front if you wanted to. Page 4, cardstock, DSP, die cuts and punch pieces right there. And then we have some inserts. You're like, what is going on? I can't wait to share this with you because I want it to be like a super surprise. Some insert pieces right here. You've got 2 pieces of white. You've got more DSP. You've got a couple of these. There should be a yellow one here. We're going to punch a yellow one out real quick. I think I omitted the other yellow one. We're going to get to that. And then this is the back of the project, which could also be, you guessed it, it could be another card front. And again, feel free to flip these papers around, and feel free when you get these kits to swap out the elements and put them, you know, different orders, different arrangements, whatever you want to do. So those are all the pieces that are coming to you. Oh, look, the yellow one, it showed up. That was like magical. All right, and then you're also going to get 4 envelopes. So even if you decide to make 6 card fronts, you'll just need a couple more envelopes. But 4 envelopes are coming to you, a couple of pieces of ribbon, and all of these fun pieces right here. So hopefully you see that. Any stamp set you have at home, you don't have to have this one. You can use any stamps. This is the beauty of this. So to get this card project, I'm calling it a card project, with your $50 order this week through May 3rd, in my online store, this comes to you in the mail. And you're also going to get the PDF recipe with some pictures because we're going to need some pictures of what we're doing here. You'll also be able to refer back to this video to create this project. And then when you watch me, you might be able to figure it out and just make your own at home, which is really sweet. Now, in the title of my video description, I said I'm using a lot of dies. So you saw a bunch of them as I went through here. I'm just going to go through what I use. So in case you're like, I got that, I can do that. Or substitute, right? Or get the card kit, your choice. We are using, and these rectangle dies, which I can never remember the name of, they're called Textured Notes dies. Has nothing to do with rectangles. I feel like they should be called stylish rectangles because that's what they look like to me. So I'm using actually 3 of them. I'm actually using this one too. So 3 of them are in your card kit. This banner and these cute little, these are supposed to be for your numbers. This is from the Birthday Celebrations dies, in case you're wondering. This one right here is from Mixed Florals. I love this one so much. Then over here we have Thankful Garden. So you just need a leafy sprig, a couple leafy sprigs, right? I love the leafy sprigs. Stylish Shapes, I use them all the time. These are like my go-to. So we have the banner and we have a couple of squares. Those are the dies that we're using. So lots of different dies, in case you were following along, in case you're taking notes. Thankful Garden, Mixed Florals, Birthday Celebration, Textured Notes, and Stylish Shapes. So there we go. We got all those. But then there's more. Let's talk about the punches. We're also using a bunch of punches. This is the Elegant Edge Tag Punch. So we're using this punch. We are using this one right here, really awesome, which you saw the pieces in there. Keeping Tabs punch. Okay. We have the 2-inch circle punch, the 2 3/8-inch circle punches. This is all part of the kit. All these products, but you don't have to own them. You can just get the kit. But I do want to draw your attention to this one. This is the Petal Park Builder It's a flower punch. Petal Park Builder. This one's actually on sale. This is in the last chance list. It's on sale for $16, $16.80, and then item number is 160576. If you don't have this, this is a really awesome set, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use it. So you can see, maybe you can still, if you're like still looking at my card kit, I don't know what you can see on my desk right now, but these are the 3 little flowers right here. We're actually using them twice on this project. So I've just punched them out of Daffodil Delight cardstock, so you don't have to have the stamp. You can just use, come on, flowers and a little leaf, right? So I wanted to share with you all of those exciting that's a lot, right? I love it when I can be like, I used all of these things and you can too. It's very exciting. All right. Hi, Sandy Coy Emery. It's good to see you here. Sandy has been sending me, and I have to say thank you, Sandy. Sandy sends me the cutest cards all the time, and I love your happy mail, Sandy. Thank you for thinking of me and sending me such beautiful cards. And I do need to send you a card too, because I love everything that you're sending to me. And I think about you all the time. You're in my mailbox frequently. So Sandy is a really wonderful sharing card maker. So if you guys aren't friends with Sandy yet, you should make friends with Sandy. She's the sweetest. All right, our inks tonight are Crumb Cake, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Daffodil Delight, and Early Espresso. So we're keeping those same tones similar to our cardstock. Now obviously Cloud Cover, we don't have an ink for Cloud Cover yet. Cloud cover ink is potentially not going to ever be available. It is part of Ink Color Club, and if you're wondering, what are we going to do if we don't get cloud cover ink, I've got you covered. I have that information on my blog, so check it out in case you're like, wait a minute, what? Okay, so now that we know the inks, all of the things that we're using, which is a lot, right? You're going to agree it's a lot of things. I'm going to show you the project, and then we're going to put it together. So this is the cover. As mentioned earlier, this says Friends or Flowers in the Garden of Life. You can see I've got this cute little tie here. This is the back, by the way. I stamped it with my really old-fashioned hand stamped by Julie Maxon with the Stampin' Up logo here, the registered trademark. This is ancient. This is really old, and it doesn't really stamp as nicely as it used to. Everybody that can remember when Stampin' Up actually allowed you to do your own stamp, your name, put your name on a stamp, those were good times. I use this on the back. Now this is something that Stampin' Up asks you to do if you're selling cards using Stampin' Up images, is to put that copyright trademark stamp. And there are stamp sets that they carry that have that, you know, the @ Stampin' Up registered trademark symbol. This is mine. I encourage you to always, and I'm looking, you guys, when you send me stuff in the mail, I flip it over and look, did they stamp the back with their name or did they not? I'm judging you only based on that. The card, I don't judge the cards. The only thing I look for is your hand stamped name, or if you're going to sign it up. So anyway, this is the back. I'm going to get off my soap stool here now because we're going to do our project. So you're probably wondering, like, what is going on here? This is actually 4 envelopes. So I'm going to kind of give you like a sneak peek without too much sneak peek, because I don't think I want to open this completely yet. Let's work on the card front first. Actually, yeah, let's work on the card front. We're going to just work on some of this, just so you can, and then you're going to see what the project is, because I just want to string you along. I'm going to string you along with me. Just hang out with me for a little bit, right? So let's go ahead. The card front here, we have the cloud cover. And then we have, as mentioned, we have some die cuts. We have our little pieces right here. Now, if you want to, there's a ton of options here in all of these parts and pieces, which I'm probably just going to start making a mess of. But I want you to know that some of them are different sizes, and there's a reason that they are different sizes, and you'll see why in a minute. So some of these are 3 3/4 inch wide, and some are 4 inches wide. So if you're mixing and matching, just keep that in mind, that some of them are narrower, but you can find similar ones. And in fact, I wasn't sure on the card front if I wanted to use what I did use, which was this, or if I wanted to use this one, because I kind of started out like this. So I'm thinking I might switch it up, because, you know, I like to switch things up randomly. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to do it. I really liked the blues here, and I thought they would look beautiful with cloud cover. So we're going to do it. We're going to switch this up already. Right out the gate, we're doing some changes. All I'm going to do first is put one of my DSPs onto my beautiful cardstock here. Cloud cover. Everyone's new favorite in color, right? Like, you guys have voted. It's your favorite. It's your favorite. It's your favorite. I'm thinking it is. All right, here's some more cloud cover. So we're going to put this on here, just like so. Then we're going to do a little stamping, a little assembly. So this is just showing you as well, if you decide to just go ahead and make 6 card fronts from all of the supplies here, you could do that. We're going to stamp on this white rectangle, which I mentioned earlier is called textured notes. There may be a test for me later on. I'm having a really hard time wrapping my head around textured notes for those rectangles. I guess I need to like make some kind of a relatable, like maybe I pretend they're like little notes from a notepad, and there's texture on the outside. Maybe I can go with that and try to remember it that way. So I'm putting Friends are flowers. Friends are flowers in the Garden of Life. There we go. Fits beautifully on this rectangle from Textured Notes. Yes, you guessed it correctly. And I did this in Early Espresso. So there we go. Early Espresso, we've done a little stamp in. We're going to bring in some of our flowers. And, you know, as I started playing with this stuff, I got stuff everywhere. All right. So one set of flowers, you've got a large, medium, and small. Well, let's glue this together while we're getting ready to work on our flowers here. We're going to just adhere this to, so the white die cut textured notes. I just have to repeat this a million times, and then I'm never going to forget what the name of this die is ever again. Textured notes right here onto an old olive. textured notes. And if you don't have these, man, I really love these rectangles. Okay, this is going to come on here, but we are going to pop this with some dimensionals. So we're going to look for some dimensionals here. And hi, Julie. More blue is always better. Julie, you are my girl. We are twins. Me, you, and Jess. Jess also loves blue, and I love knowing like who loves what color. I just think it's fantastic. Now, of course, I realize most of you are purple fans as well. And that's perfectly fine. I don't hold anything against you for loving purple, but when somebody says I love blue, I'm like, I love blue too, and I love you too. Okay, we've got some dimensionals in the back of this. We're going to come over here and we're going to put this right about so we are covering up the one end of this stylish shapes die, so it's kind of sticking out here like a little tab. Isn't that cute so far? Okay, I'm liking this switch up, but we got to work on our flowers next. All right, now this may sound a little bit crazy, but I'm pretty sure this is the only dimensionals I'm using tonight on this entire project. And I'm going to tell you a secret why. This project is kind of thick when you put everything together, because it's like a project. So I didn't use dimensionals because this is already really fat. Like, you'd have to make a special envelope, put this in a gift bag, hand deliver it. There's a lot going on. First, we're going to work on our cute little flowers. So let me show you. We're going to bring in some crumb cake. Nope, we're not bringing in crumb cake. Just kidding. Bringing in pecan pie and daffodil. Let's get the right colors going. So Daffodil Delight. Now these are punched from that punch that's on sale. So make sure you're checking out Petal Park Builder. And we're going to bring in the little dots. There's like little dots here. So if you can see them here, so there's little dots, like spray of random dots. We're just going to make our flowers have little polka dots on them. So the bigger one needs a couple, the middle one needs a couple stampings, and then the little guy, you can really get away with just doing this like one time. You know what? Speaking of one time, let's do this all at once. We have some more on the inside, so I'm going to bring the other ones in. So you're doing 6 flowers on this project. Now you don't have to use them if you don't want to. I'm not going to come to your house and make you use everything that comes in your kit, okay? But anyway, so we've got the little polka dots. They're super cute with the polka dots. I think you will agree. Polka dots are fun. So we are doing that first, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp the centers. So when I said earlier, you don't need to have the stamp set that goes with the Park Builder. What is it called? Petal Park Builder Punch. You can doctor up your punched images with whatever else you have at home too. I just made little polka dots on them. Now the pecan pie, this little coffee bean right here, this little coffee bean is in the stamp set. It's right here. It is part of the center of our daisy. Okay, so but today it's also part of the center of our punched flowers. So I'm just going to add this in here, and yep, it fits on every one of them. Now on the littler guys, it's going to make it look like, you know, there's like more center than flower, and that's okay, because sometimes that's what happens with them as they're growing, right? They start out, you can kind of make sure you make it go in a nice direction, right? Do your magic, stamping magic, right? And just like that, we have all of these cute little flowers. Don't they look cute? They look like little black-eyed Susans, I think. Now I went through and I did do the edges of these with a little bit of ink, because I can't not. So you don't have to though, but I feel like it helps to make the flowers pop a little bit. And if you hold the flower with your middle finger on the back, your thumb on the front in the middle, you can just turn it, like you can spin it around like it's on a lazy Susan, but it's on your lazy fingers, right? So you're just going to spin that around really quickly. You can use whichever finger, forefinger I guess works too, right? Just as long as you're able to freely spin that around, it's just really quick to just do that. Throw some color on there. Doesn't have to be like exactly perfect. These are nature flowers. They're not perfect flowers. They're just in nature. So we're going to just add this to all of these. The littler guy is harder to spin because he's like a little bit tinier. So plan to be inky. That's a good plan, right? The plan of the day should always be a little bit of ink on the fingers. Okay, there we go. Those are done. There's our cute little flowers. Now we're only putting half of these on our card front. Now you could mix it up if you wanted to, but I'm going to just continue to create this as such. And you know what I told you earlier, we were done with the dimensionals. I meant after we did the flowers, of course, because we're still on the front part of our card. So we need one for each of these on the front. We're going to pop up these ones, and then I'm going to put away the dimensionals. We're done with those for the day. So here we go. I'm going to bring this in a little bit so you can see. Hopefully you can see better. Sometimes I get going over here and I forget, like I'm just going. And I don't know if you can see what I'm doing because I get all excited and I just go. So we're just going to pop a few of these on here. Now these are going to blend in way, way, way more than the cover I did originally. And that's why I chose to do a lighter cover on this one, but I really want, my first instinct was to go with this one. So you can still see them, they're there, but they blend in a little bit more. So keep that in mind. If you're making this and you're using these same papers, you have options, but there's the cover. There's the cover of our project, right, like that. So I probably should show you how this is going to go together before I keep making pages for the book. Let's talk about the envelopes. So you're getting 4 envelopes. And these are the Stampin' Up! Envelopes. They're fantastic envelopes, by the way, if you have never used them. Well, if you get my card kits, you know what they feel like because I send you the nice envelopes. They have a rounded flap, so some of you may be using other envelopes. I've used other envelopes in the past, and they may have the triangle point, which would be a little bit trickier, I think. So we're going to be using this style of envelope. If you have those, that's awesome. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to take envelope number 1. We're going to open it up. So here's the flap opened, right? We're going to put glue on just the flap, okay? Don't go past the line where it folds over. You're going to take your next envelope. So with the flap going toward the right, because we're going to head this way, we're going to line up this edge right here with the crease from this envelope, the first one, and we're going to just line it up just like so. Make sure you can fold it over. You know, kind of just, this is the beauty of glue, right? You have a little bit of wiggle room, right? Make sure you can fold it over and it doesn't bang into each other, if that makes sense. Now you've just created a little pocket right here, by the way. And you've got a little pocket right here too, but we're going to keep going. We're going to add our next envelope down. So again, just go ahead and add some glue to the adhesive flappy part right here. And we're going to line up that same edge and the same creases. Now we have 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. Again, make sure that they fold nicely. Okay, and then the last one's going to go on. Now I'm going to recommend if you make this project at home, you use even numbers. Even numbers work nicely. This last envelope, I've already folded the flap in. So this just has this flap folded inside. I tucked it in. So you're going to have to bend it a little bit, tuck the flap in, right? So this is going to be the last one. Now if you're adding more on, keep going in the same manner I just showed you. But when you get to the end, you're going to tuck in the flap. You're going to glue up the previous envelope flap, and then you're going to lay this one down. And you just made a nice little train. We have 4 in a row, okay? And at the end, we have this tucked in flap right here. Now this might need, you know, a second to set up, but if you flip-flop it back and forth, which I just did, I zigzagged it. So when it opens, we're making a little book, and a little book that's going to have little nooks. So it's going to be really awesome. So hopefully you guys can, hopefully you can see where this is coming together. And we just created the front. Now before you put this on, which is really pretty, right? Before you put this on, we'll do that last because we're actually going to tuck in some strings because our strings are going to go underneath this first flap right here. So I'm going to open this up just a little bit, just so you can see something. Just so you can see something. We don't need this part right now. I'm going to set my envelopes apart aside here, and I'm going to just like open a section of my little book. So here's pages 1 and 2. So I'm going to call these different page numbers. And as you get your directions, you're going to see different page numbers as well. So hopefully you guys see this and go, oh, it's so pretty, because it really is really pretty. All right, so for page 2, I'm using Crumb Cake, and I'm using the green DSP. Now on the back side of it is this beautiful floral print. Again, you have options if you want to use that instead. You could absolutely use that instead, but I do really like the green here, and I'm just going to make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing. Hi Lois, good to see you on here. Okay, so I think you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue this down because I do really like the strong green here. So for this book, we're going to call it a book. You might hear me call it a mini book. You might hear me call it a little scrapbook. This could be a memory book. It's definitely fun, no matter what you want to call it, right? I'm using the B side of the paper. So the more natural looking papers is what I'm going for. So we're creating page number 2, which is right here. We're stamping this beautiful image, and it is gorgeous. It is a really fun stamp set. If you don't have this one yet, I want you to add it to your list. This is a $20 stamp set. There's no dies that go with it. You're going to see me use it tonight with all kinds of stuff that you already probably have, or it's on your list. Like, oh, yep, I need those dies. I need that, what have you. So this is the flower. It's a big open flower. We're going to stamp it right in the middle. It's got a really nice little like swag to it, right? It doesn't just go up and down. It's got like a little curve going on, and it fits beautifully right in the center of this die cut rectangle, which is now forever known as textured notes. I have this in front of me. In case you think I remember it, it's not. I have it written down in front of me so I can remember what it is. Look at how perfect that is on there. It's just so pretty. It makes me happy. All right, we're going to set aside early espresso. This is early espresso. In case it looks black, it is definitely early espresso. We're going to do some 2-step stamping with pecan pie, daffodil, and old olive. We'll start with daffodil. So this is distinctive stamping as well. And so the stamps are meant to have kind of opacities in them. Like, they don't stamp a solid image on purpose. So this is photopolymer. You're able to line up this image around your flower. So if you have to turn your flower sideways a little bit, you can. Just find the best way that the petals look like they're going to go on, and you go for it. You can also color. If you prefer to not do 2-step stamping, you could grab out your color pencils, your blends, your markers, whatever you love. Color. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, super pretty, right? It's so nice. I love it. And it's a fast way. 2-step stamping is one of my favorite ways to do stamping because I like fast. I like to just do a lot and go, and then I want to be on to the next thing. So then we've got this really beautiful green leaf that's going to fit inside all of the green that you see here. So you're just going to go ahead and kind of angle this, look down a little bit, and if it's off a little bit, that's okay too, right? Because it's just artistic that way. So here's the old olive on there. Now we're going to look for that little coffee bean that we used earlier. We're going to do that in pecan pie, make our little center. And of course, daisies are not just yellow. Okay, right? So if you want to do colorful, like purple daisies and pink daisies and blue daisies, of course you all want to do blue daisies. I know everyone skipped over purple and said, yeah, blue, please. All right, so there it is, just like that. That is done. Was that not sweet and easy? Like, you could die cut a bunch of these rectangles from textured notes, have them on hand, and do these all in different colors, and then you've got an instant card front if you need to make a quick card for somebody. Pick me up, birthday, sympathy, all of the things. Flowers cover everything. I think that's why we gravitate toward flower stamps. Personally, flowers cover everything. Okay, my green glue wiggled a little bit there at the end. We're going to make sure it's set. Here we go, card. This is page 2 in our book, but it's also, if you wanted to, this is a card front. So we've got 2 so far, 1 and 2, just like that. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, we're going to go on. We're going to do more. I'm just going to check real quick here. And oh my gosh, Jess has a brilliant idea. She says, I can see putting in seed packets, usually put the flat embellishments and die cuts in envelopes to have handy when I craft. Nice. Hi, Kathy. You're not late. You're always on time. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, we are making this really fabulous book. I've only showed you part of it so far. This is with 4 envelopes. In case anyone else is just tuning in, we've glued together 4 envelopes in a really fun fashion. There's some pockets here where we're going to tuck in some extra things, and we are creating this little book. So here's a couple of our pages. We have more pages here, and then we have the back, so we're still going. But this is a really easy way to be creative and clever at the same time. This is page number 1, 2. This is page 2. We have front, page 1. This is page 2. And again, this is the really great colors here, but I want the more plain ones to be facing up because I feel like it's just going to work better as I'm putting elements on. Now, besides the elements, besides die cuts, punch pieces, stamped images, what have you, you could also make this a cute little mini album. So if you're thinking about scrapbooking like me, raise your hand. Anything like that. So you have options to kind of tiptoe into it, really. All right, so we're using the birthday celebrations die cut here. We're going to put this up at the top. This is from Mixed Media Florals. You may need to pick out some of these little things that stay kind of stuck inside. If that bothers you, you can pick those pieces out. So when you stamp your sentiment on this piece, if you choose to do so, if you choose to use all these pieces together, make sure you're stamping your sentiment over here to the far left. Let me grab out early espresso again. All sentiment stamping will be in early espresso tonight, keeping things kind of simple. So this one says, speaking of simple, sometimes the simplest things mean the most. This is a really nice sentiment as well. So we're going to keep the banner going down. Of course, you could change it up if you wanted to, but I'm going to put it over here. It does not have to be all the way to the top, but it does have to be all the way to the left, okay? So you can keep a little room here at the top. You don't have to like squish it way up to the top, just like so. There's our sentiment. I'm gonna put this away. Now we already did our flowers from the cover page. So we've got these cute little flowers right here. So we've already done those, which is great. We've got a little bit of yellow here, courtesy of some of these fun little side stamps. This is kind of like a square, kind of like skids across. I don't know what to call them. They're just basic background stamping, and I just added a little bit in here for two reasons. I really wanted to use every stamp in the set, and of course these are great for like little background things, and also this just needed a little extra something. So I chose to kind of accent my sentiment a little bit, like so. Now, if you want to go crazy, you can put this all over the place. Definitely have fun with it. I tried it and I didn't like it. It was too busy for me. So sometimes I'm in my craft room. You don't see the things that I don't like share because I was like, whoa, that went sideways quick. But this is just kind of my finished product here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Now, so as noted at the beginning, the dimensionals were used on the front, but because these pages are thick, there's a lot going on, I'm not putting anything else popped up on dimensionals as I build my book pages, because it would be kind of out of control, I think. It would be like it would be a book. Like you need a 2-inch spine. So there we go. I've left a little bit of room along the top and the left here, so you can see a little bit of the yellow checkered paper, which is super cute. Now this can be a little bit tricky to glue down because it's got like lots of little pieces to it. So we're just gonna like dot on a little bit of glue here, just randomly in a few spots. Just try to find like the spots that are a little bit thicker. Hope your glue comes out without being crazy. We don't need crazy glue, right? Like literally crazy glue, no. So I'm just gonna kind of dot here a little bit in some spots that I think are gonna work. And this takes a minute because you're just kind of being more delicate and mindful of where your glue is going to be. So don't worry if you can't get everything stuck down. I have an idea. I have an idea to share with you. So we're just going to kind of, you know, we're adding lightly glued. Now I'm going to recommend you start kind of toward the bottom here. Don't go off to the right too far, right? You're going to keep it on your page. And if you've been really good with your sentiment, this piece will come up here alongside and you will still see all your sentiment, right? So this one right here, I can see he needs a little extra love because I didn't catch anything on him to glue. So we're gonna just bring him forward slightly and give him just a little kiss of glue there on the end. We're gonna hold that down for a second. Now, if you have some that are like really crazy, like, whoa, they are just bouncing off the page, I don't dare add glue there. This is where your flowers are gonna come in handy. On my original, I had a couple pieces that were popping up high, and I'm just like, well, here you're gonna have a flower, and then you're gonna have a flower, and then you're gonna have a flower, and then it kind of anchored my little wavy cloud cover. Isn't the grass in blue beautiful? Like, I know it's not traditional, but when we play with our inks and colors, we can do whatever we want, right? So I'm just gonna glue these down flat too. Now, putting these down over top of some of these grasses is also gonna help to, you know, make sure they don't come off the page where we didn't get a lot of glue because there wasn't a lot of room to put glue down. So you can be clever and creative on how you want to put these on here, but this is page 2 of our book, just like that. So we've got pages of our book. Here we go. So we got the front cover and then these two, and these could also be 3 card fronts if you decide that you don't want to, you know, maybe your value is in cards and not this cute little book that you might want to make and give away. So there we go. We're going to turn some pages here. We're going to check out the next couple of pages. So this is page 3 and 4 of our little book. And I guess since you've seen it all, maybe, I don't know if you can see all of it laid out in front of you. I gotta turn my camera around. Oh, Kathy went for ice cream. Oh my goodness, Kathy. Yep, that's a really excellent idea, ice cream. It was a warm day. It was a beautiful day. Yes, you can. I'm just looking at my camera now. So this is kind of like how this goes. If you wanted to put it up in a position where you could see the front and then just kind of have this beautiful little plateau on a shelf, it's all like can be gorgeous. Here again, we did the front already. And then we have the back side here too. So we've got a couple more pages in our book to make. So let's do those next. And I love that you can just kind of fold these and flip these. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? And then of course we can stuff them too. We can stuff them up with some really cool things. All right, so we still have lots of cardstock, designer paper, and the like that are gonna go with this kit. And I'm gonna show you how you need to assemble the pages of your book into your envelope, your accordion envelope, without gluing everything closed. So stay tuned, right? Don't leave me yet and think, yep, I got it all figured out. You're gonna need to know how this really, really works when it comes time for final assembly. All right, so I'm taking the Daffodil Delight and I'm using I love this kind of linen textured DSP. And now we're gonna come in with our stylish shapes. One's Old Olive, one is Cloud Cover. And then I've got these cute little number, well, they're supposed to be number dies. These are from the birthday celebrations. So like happy 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th birthday, you know, all those things. But we're using them here in a different way. So we're kind of using them as little tags, which work really well. Now you're going to see these images here, something a little different. So what I need to do first, and most importantly, I need to clean up a couple of stamps because, oh, that's not where did it go? Oh, over here. I need to clean up this one, which we used with green. I need my leaf, and I need the filler of the daisy. So the filler pieces, the 2-step stamping pieces of the daisy top and the leaf. That's what's going to go on these pieces right here. I'm going to bring in another scrap paper. We're going to put these together quickly. So I like to do different things that are of interest. So I don't want to have everything kind of look the same. I'm going to come through with my Emboss Buddy first. Then we're going to bring in the Versamark ink. And we're going to bring in our white embossing powder. And we're going to do up these images. So this is just a different way to use these stamps, which is really an awesome thing, to have ideas that are different rather than the same old, same old. So this was the filler that we used for our daisy. I'm just going to put it here kind of a little bit at an angle, not like fully straight. And this magic ink right here, this disappearing ink, will catch our white powder, and then we're going to heat emboss that. Now we're going to do the leaves. Here we go. So these are the Stylish Shapes dies, one of my absolute favorite dies. We're going to make sure we get lots of ink on our stamp. And this will fit kind of in a flowing manner across this beautiful die cut shape. And then we're going to bring in our powder again, and we're going to put that on there. Make sure everybody's got some powder to go. There we go. It looks beautiful. Okay, so next we're going to do the important steps. Close your Versamark pad. Close your powder, whatever you're using for powder. Close it up. Put it under lock and key. Don't let it spill. Don't make a mess. Those are important steps, right? All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my reversible tweezers on here and find my heat tool. So we're going to heat this up a little bit, and then we're going to finish this one up very quickly. All right, while I'm doing the heating up part, I'm going to flip back over to my Facebook page just to see. Hi, Vicki. I just wanted to see Vicki. That's what I wanted to do. So we are just making this really cute little keepsake book card project. Just something really sweet and something different. This project, you can do any papers. If you want to make one at home, you really love it. Your envelopes, any papers, designer papers, any theme. Just use mix of your punches and a mix of your stamps, your dies, all kinds of stuff. I think the more you just look around to see what will work, the more excited you're going to be to look around and see what works. And to know that you have product at home that you can do so much with. Like that's huge. I love the white embossing on cloud cover. I mean, I love everything about cloud cover, first of all, but look at that white embossing on the cloud cover. Is that not the coolest, like, combination of color ever? I really hope that Stampin' Up! Can get the cloud cover ink pad up and running, because I'm going to be really, really sad if they don't. Like, I love this color. So let's all say a prayer for the ink pad known as cloud cover. All right, before we put these on here, I got these cute little die cuts as mentioned, right? So just to make it easier on yourself, this is what I'm going to recommend. Put the die down with the side facing up that you love, and I'm going to, for example, put some adhesive on the end of this, and I'm going to attach it to, so this is on my work surface, I'm going to attach it to here. And then that way you can you can adjust it, you can figure out where you want this to go. So glue them together, and then they're going to be a solid unit to put onto your designer series paper. And that's like a game changer, like, right? Make it easy. Don't put it down and then go, oh shoot, I wish I had moved it a little bit farther, whatever way. First of all, I got to make sure I've got the right side up. So this time I'm going to put the adhesive on the right side, and I'm going to line up my cloud cover square just over here, and then I can kind of adjust where I want that to go. Do I want it to be, I kind of like it toward the bottom third. Like kind of just past the halfway mark maybe, right? So that's on there. So now all I have to do is glue down all of the things all at the same time. So we can put a little glue there, a little adhesive everywhere, and then we can pop this on here right about so. And because these pieces were embossed, they do have the tendency to curl for a little bit. Like they're kind of like, they're a little bit uptight. I'm not going to lie, right? But they will relax. The fibers and the papers will relax again. You can kind of bend them if you need to. If you're like, wow, they're just a little fatter than I anticipated. Just, you know, you can work with them. And that's why I like the glue, because we throw a lot of glue down. Glue is like the magic elixir of paper crafting. I know some people are anti-glue, but I will be forever green glue girl. There we go. So just like that, we've got kind of just a mixed top and bottom. So it kind of gives you the idea, right, that it's got a little bit of flow there. So there is our page right there. So we've got, look at how many pages we've got. Cover, page 1, page 2, page 3. So you can see the flow of the beautiful colors. They all go together. They're just kind of blending from one to the next. We're gonna go on to this page right here. So this has got crumb cake, cardstock, and then we've got this kind of yellow DSP. Of course, you could choose, you've got choices, right? Flip it over. You could even choose, like, maybe you want this on the back cover and you want to use this page, right? So you could do it differently if you want to. That's a lot of white. So choose whatever you love. And I just really like how I had the original set up. So we're going to keep going. The only thing so far that I've switched is the cover, which means the back page will also be a little bit different than my original. But that's kind of the fun in it too, right? So we're going to go ahead and put this on. Now for this one, we're going to do our stamping on this piece that is punched with the Elegant Edge Tag Punch. So we're going to bring in our third and final sentiment, which is not that one. This one? Nope, not that one. Well, eventually I'm going to find it. I did use all the right sentiments, right? If I repeated, then I'm like, oh no. All right, yes, you are remarkable in every single way. That is such a sweet sentiment, right? We're going to bring this in early espresso, just like all of our other sentiments. We're going to kind of put this toward the top and then toward the right. So just kind of fit that in there, just like so. You are remarkable in every single way. That's a really nice thing to say about somebody. Now, while we have the espresso out, I want to take advantage of this adorable little bee. Where's my bee buddy? Okay, so this is one that's really tiny. It is in here. You may not be able to see it, bee, but it is the stinking cutest little bee. So there's a little trail here, and then at the end of the little trail is the little bee. So we're just going to kind of pop this in up here toward the top, like he's coming in off the left side. And OMG, is that bee not the tiniest, cutest thing ever? I feel like this is an awesome little stamp. I love it. Okay, now we're going to bring in my scrap again, because we're actually using our big outline daisy, but we're only using a section of it. So I could probably bring this down. Maybe you could see that. Just right here. Just so you don't need to ink up the whole thing. I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't need to, because we're only going to have enough that's going to come over here and just kind of fill in the bottom of our, it's almost like a little bookmark, right? Look at how cute, just the bottom part of that. So we've got that on there. Now we are going to do our two-step stamping all over again. So we had practice on one of our other pages. We're bringing back in daffodil, pecan, and old olive. So let's start with daffodil and do our flower. So we're just going to ink this back up. Again, two-step stamping, distinctive stamping. Do your best to line it up. Beautiful. And then we're going to do, we best cover this. That's what we're going to do. Old olive. Let's bring in old olive next. So we, again, just like before, we're doing two-step stamping, but well, I'm just going to ink up the whole thing because it's not that big. But you're going to have to like try to figure out how this fits on here. This one's a little bit harder to determine because we haven't done the whole, we didn't do the whole thing. And I totally messed up and it's kind of going off, but it's artistic enough that it works really well. It's not like it, you don't look at that and go, whew, Julie really messed that up. You just look at it and go, okay, maybe it's meant to be stamped that way. Like, we accept it. Our mind is accepting of such a thing. All right, we're bringing in our little coffee bean. We're doing the pecan pie center of that, and isn't that the cutest? But we're not done yet. We're going to do a little bee coloring. So for this one, I'm just using the Stampin' Up markers. I've got Daffodil Delight. I love the new, the ends that they've got here. So we're just going to do the bee. Now the bee is in early espresso. So he's already got like some black lines to it. So just a couple dots of that's all it takes. And I came in with the Pool Party Stampin' Up marker just to do his wings because I felt like they needed something, right? So just the tiniest little bit of blue up here. Super cute. Now we're going to put this together kind of similarly to how we did those little tabs. We're going to actually, you're going to see here, this is a die from Thankful Garden. So any leafy sprig you have at home, if you're trying to just kind of recreate this, just kind of to wrap here. I just thought it was cute to wrap around. So you're going to see that the bottom three right here kind of tuck behind. And then we've got these ones kind of coming out to the side. So we're gonna turn this over. Once you're happy with your tuck, well, I just undid my tuck. Let us retuck. Okay, there we go. We are tucked. Happy? Yes, we're happy. Flip it over. Bring in your tear and tape. Cheat. Tape this down. Like those are your steps. Cheat, tape it down, right? In case you need to write that one down again. Cheat, tape it down. Those are my steps. Official Julie steps. There we go. All right, so now we're going to just put some adhesive on this whole back of the tag, just like so. You can catch a couple pieces on this leaf, and again, just there's little slots or slits in the die, so just don't go crazy because that will ooze right out. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, right about here. And I did decide to keep this in a kind of straight up and down, nice, cohesive orientation. My original thought was to make it kind of slanted a little bit, like at an angle. However, nothing else from this this little booklet has funky angles. So I thought, no, you know what? I'm going to keep it going straight up and down. It just made more sense to my eyeballs, right? Okay, so that is page number 4. Now we're going to just really quickly put together the back page, and then we're going to talk about the inserts and the final assembly. So the back of the book, I mean, every page, right? This gives you like really 6 card fronts if you want to do this. I think I'm going to leave this one on the back. Yes, I am. Okay, so playing with paper, you have lots of options. It's all from the same Designer Series paper pack, which is really nice. And we've used limited cardstock colors, limited ink colors. The back of the book. Now on the back of the book on my book, I'm using the circles. You could use these anywhere. And you could also stamp. If you wanted to stamp another flower in here and put a flower on the back, you certainly could. This is just where I'm taking advantage of putting my little stamp, which I'm not going to put on there right now. I'm just going to glue these down because I don't know. I could do something else with this yet. I'm not sure. But in the meanwhile, I just wanted to share with you, you can use this space for your personalized, I made this project and isn't it beautiful stamp. Okay, so this is going to be considered the back of my book. Remind me, don't let me put the back and the front on without the ribbon. Let's talk about the inserts. We haven't done inserts yet, so let's review where the inserts even are. Now you have 4 pockets that you could put things in. I actually only put pockets in 2. So here's one, and then on the last one right here, I have this pocket right here. So this is what we're going to do next, and you could stamp on these, but these are also really great places to write some notes. Maybe you have some favorite quotes Maybe you have some uplifting scripture that you want to add in. I feel like you could do a lot of different things without stamping. So handwritten, something handwritten would be beautiful. Now I'm giving you the white inserts and then a little bit of designer paper. I'm going to talk to you about the 2 tabs. So, because I struggled with this for a second, you wouldn't think that this would be a difficult thing, right? You punch it, you're going to get the punches. They basically fold in half. And they don't fold in half like super evenly, so don't sweat it, right? But here's where I struggled a little bit. I struggled with the placement on the actual paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here, and then I'm going to put this on here so that the top right here is going to kind of go toward the edge of my cardstock because you want it to stick out. My instinct was to like push it all the way in, and then there was like no tab. So just like that, right? And then after you do that one, it's easy to just add this one on. My glue needs a little assistance here. But then just do this one, and then you've got the tab so it sticks out off of the top as intended. So these are just some little DSP scraps. You can use whatever you have on hand too. They do come in your kit, but I wanted you to see that just to add a little bit of color makes it kind of fun. So just put them on here wherever you want. And then this is going to be one insert. We're going to repeat with the Daffodil Delight now with another piece of DSP. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to repeat in case you fell asleep because I'm super boring and you're like, what is going on? So a little bit of glue there. Bring the edges of the bottom, kind of the top and bottom lines here, right up to the edge. Living on the edge, right? And then we're going to come over here, add some more adhesive, and then pop this one over, just like that, okay? And then we're going to bring in our DSP. Again, these are all 2-sided, so you can choose whichever side up you want. I'm going to leave this little blue side up because as my friend Julie mentioned earlier, more blue is better. And I would totally agree with that. Okay, so there we go. We have that on there. Okay, so there's our little inserts that are going to go into our card. So you've got the little pockets right there with the inserts. You can just see them sticking out here. And that's because these 2 pages that we're going to put together are a little bit narrower than these pages right here. Now you can still put stuff in here if you wanted to. It's just going to be more of a mystery that they have to like kind of look for. Okay, so now we're going to put our book together. We have all kinds of stuff going on. Let's do the book. In case you're wondering how this actually works. We move this aside, we move this aside. Let's bring out our book. So earlier in the video, in case you're just tuning in, I shared with you how to assemble your envelopes, right? Your last envelope has the tuck in. So it looks just like this. I just want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here too. Let me come back over and look at my screen, your screen, right? Looks like I'm a little crooked today. There we go. Kind of like so, right? So you get the idea. Now, before you go crazy and just start gluing stuff down, there is a method. Some of these are, as mentioned, wider, narrower, because I have them specifically for tucked in pieces. So what you want to do when you're putting them together, first of all, decide how you want to do them. Doesn't matter where you want them to go. What matters is you don't want to glue down this piece to this piece if you want to tuck things in. So my first thought is, or my first suggestion is, first, get the goopy stuff off the glue bottle, Julie. All right, we're going to come over here and we're going to kind of put a wide arch of glue on the edge of the envelope itself. And then knowing that this is that edge right there, we're going to add some adhesive like so, skipping this section because this section is going to come down right here. We're going to line this up. This one's going to kind of center here. And we're going to line this up, and that will keep our envelope open in case we want to tuck something in right there, right? So there's number 1, just like so. And then we're just going to come across here and repeat. So the same steps. We're going to come over here. We're going to add a little bit of glue, come down along the envelope edge because we want to keep this open. And then we know that this is the side right here where my hand is. This is the side that doesn't need glue. So this is the side that does. So you have to do a little bit of spatial awareness here. Like awareness, the awareness of where the things go. Okay, and I have glue everywhere now. All right, we're going to come back down through and we're going to put this one on here, and I'm going to keep this one a little bit farther to the left so that I have some extra room over here on the right side so that when I tuck in this card, going to go right in here, right in here. So you can kind of see it a little bit, right? So it sticks out just a little bit. And if you wanted to switch them so that it was more obvious, maybe you're thinking, well, the yellow one would be better here because it's, you know, the green matches right up to the cardstock. Depends on what you like, right? Do you want to matchy or do you want to switch them up? You have options. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to come down here and do the same thing. So just kind of repeat. This is not a hard project. It is a wow project for sure. So just keeping in mind which edge goes down and which does not. And we'll keep those flaps are open for, you know, just in case you want to add in something else. You can definitely add something into every pocket if you want to. Just got to keep them open so that you can. Okay, so there we go. And I didn't mention, but you do kind of want to keep them, hopefully I'm in line here. Hopefully they're all matching kind of nicely. We're going to go on to our last one here. Put the glue there. Glue will be here. So wait a minute. Glue is on this side, Julie. Okay, wait. No, my gosh. I'm having like a moment in the craft room. Yes, glue needs to come here. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, this feels like it's backwards, but I guess it's not. Hopefully I did all the rest of them correctly. Yes, I did. I did. Okay. Whew. Okay. There we go. And we're putting this one down. And then this one will be able to come into this pocket right here on the end. Just like that. So there we go. There is our little book, right? So as we put this together, it folds in on each other. And now we're going to talk about the ribbon, and the front and back covers. Okay, so front and back covers. Here's the ribbon. So you're getting a good chunk of ribbon here. I just want you to put a couple of 3 inches maybe. Let's see, how much is a couple of 3? Yeah, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, something like that, right? Along the front. This is the front of my book, tear and tape coming in. So this is just going to help us to be able to hold this down. So I'm going to put 2 pieces of tear and tape on here, just like so. And then I'm going to come through here and pull that off before I put my cover on. So I've got my ribbon kind of going off here toward the right side. We're going to put our cover on next. Cloud cover. Oh, how clever is that, right? So we're just going to glue this baby up. It's going to come down and cover up our little seam here. We're definitely going to want to try to center this best we can. And we're coming down to the end here. I would love to know in the comments, first of all, do you love this? Because I can't tell if you guys are loving it or not. I don't see a lot of comments, so I don't know if you think this is great or if you think, what is Julie doing tonight? I've never heard of such things. Okay, we're going to flip this over. So this is the back, and you can see the envelope here on the back side, right? The flap that's glued down. We're going to grab our other string, and we're going to kind of do the same thing. So we're going to put our ribbon here, and we're going to tie this down. We're not going to tie it down. We're going to put some tear and tape on it, and just kind of how we did it before. Just 2 pieces. The tear and tape is nice and strong, and then we're going to basically be gluing this down as well. So it is going to be a pretty secure ribbon and holding system for this little project. So I don't know. I'm going to check your comments in a minute. I want to know if you like this project or if you're like, nah, I'm just going to make card fronts. I wouldn't make this card. I wouldn't do this. I would make card fronts. Please let me know what you think of this. I would love to know if you think this is an awesome, awesome idea. All right, so this is the bottom. It's going to go this way. We're going to center that, put that over top of our ribbon. So this is the back. I mean, every side of this project is beautiful. And of course, I have some room to stamp. Now we have the ability to tie this up, right? We'll tie that. And then when somebody gets it, they have this beautiful little book. You can put some beautiful little things in here as well. Just like so. So I really did. I pretty much made like the same thing twice. The thing that is different, and again, you're going to zigzag it when you close it, right? So zigzag it like so. The thing is different is the cover. So I need to know, like, which of these covers do you prefer? Do you prefer the one that's more white or do you prefer the one that is more blue? I know that this one's busier, but the print is so beautiful, fabulous, right? Okay, so I think we've made it through the entire class, and I'm really excited to come over here and check out your comments. So let me check out your comments. Let me see if I can find your comments first. Okay. Lori says I'm never boring. That is so sweet. Let's see. Janice says it's a great project with many possibilities. Oh, thanks, Janice. And Jess says she loves it. That is awesome. The textured note rectangle dies, I love them. They may be on back order, Jess, but I feel like everything that's on back order right now is going to be, it's back in shop on May 12th. I'm just checking. Now your comments are flying in, so this is great. Julie says it's a great project. She'd make card fronts. That is awesome. And you can make 6 card fronts with what I just shared with you today. So you've got some really great ideas there too. The print is pretty. You guys are liking it. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys like it. It's definitely something different. And every now and again, I like to share something that's a little bit different in case you get, like cards again, cards again. There's so many things you can do with paper. And Julie says blue, of course, Julie, right? There's so many things you can do with paper. And oh, Tammy says it would be a cute gift with photos of a new baby. That is a great idea, Tammy. Thanks for sharing that. Absolutely. I feel like it would be a really fun way to do some photos and things like that too, right? But I love that you can tuck in all those little pockets with things for sure too. So I just wanted to bring you something different because we're reaching the end of the catalog, the spring catalog. Next week when I come back on Monday, we're going to be using brand new product from either the new catalog or online exclusives. Not sure which. There's so many possibilities, right? But I will share a card class with some brand new product. It'll be your regular 4-card kit class. And but I want to do something different this week. So if you're interested in getting this whole pack up right here, all of the things that I just showed you, all the die cuts, punch pieces, the DSP, all of the things, right, to make this cute kit, plus these directions. I'm asking for a $50 order in my online store through Saturday, May 3rd, and I'm going to send this to you in the mail. So thank you for loving on this one. I appreciate it. I'll be sharing pictures of each of the pages randomly throughout my Facebook posts this week, so you can kind of review them, because we might have to decide which of the pages we like best too, right? There's so many decisions on that. So that's what I got for tonight. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for sending me some hearts and likes and commenting on these videos. It really helps me to know that what I'm doing is bringing value to you. So you guys are super sweet and I love it. All right, everybody, if you have any questions, let me know. If you need help with any ordering or if you have questions on the last chance sale and all of that good stuff, let me know. In Color Club, sign up if you're interested. Paper Share, sign up if you're interested because next week I'm ordering product and need to know how much to order for everybody. If you don't have your catalog and you didn't ask for one but you still need one, please let me know. I still have some in stock. All right, everybody, I will see you next week. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye.